LeBron James showed a bunch, and the Cavs showed a bunch of things so far in this series. I thought the Raptors were going to be too good, even down 0-2. I thought it's possible the Raptors could sweep them the rest of the way. But LeBron has shown something here. First of all, playoff LeBron is a real thing. The way everyone says playoff Rondo is a real thing. Playoff LeBron is. And as he's aged, he's become wizened. You know, he doesn't simply play defense really anymore during the regular season, and that has a trickle-down effect on the team for sure. But when the playoffs start, he does what he has to do. Brian Windhorst has a great article on ESPN.com right now talking about how LeBron has found times in the game to rest. He's found it in the game. If you, our friends at Second Spectrum have tracked his average speed on the court, and it's one of the slowest in the league because he walks all over the place when he doesn't have to run. He literally walks around preserving energy for those high leverage moments where he has to run faster and jump higher than anyone. And he does it in the playoffs with the game on the line. So LeBron has shown he still has even more in the tank than you would suspect when he needs it. And then Kevin Love. You know, I've been talking for a long time about how LeBron doesn't have any help because Kevin Love wasn't playing like an all-star. But he's been playing like an all-star. He ain't a five-star player, not an MVP caliber player, as sometimes people thought maybe he might be when he was in Minnesota. But he ain't a three-star player. He's not like just a starter. He is an all-star. And people forget. There was a top 100 players, list recently, not that long ago. Kevin Love made like 98th or 99th. He was like towards the end of the list of all time in the NBA. He is an all-star player, which when coupled with the best player in the game, who is now playing defense and giving energy in a way that trickles down to the rest of the team, the Cavs have got it. They're going to get by Toronto, obviously. And the question is, can the Celtics, assuming the Celtics come out, I think it's a pretty safe assumption, would you take them over the Cavs? And you would say, yes, 9 times out of 10 until the game is on the line and the ball is in LeBron James' hands. The Cavs are the favorites in the East right now.
Well, a couple of things that need to be mentioned here. Number one, they're not just the Toronto Raptors. They're your Toronto Raptors, the team you picked to go to the NBA Finals. Let's not forget to mention that. That's number one. Number two, well, let's also point the finger at me because originally I had Cleveland, and then I went away from them after seeing what they doing coming into the playoffs, and I talked about the Philadelphia 76ers. So we're both guilty of that. I'm not going to just throw you under the bus. I'll throw myself there as well. Now, let me answer this question directly, Max Kellerman. My answer would be not so fast. As great as LeBron James has looked, and there is no doubt about that, let's make sure that we remind everybody of what I kept saying. The Toronto Raptors, LeBron James is their kryptonite. I mean, that's what it is. The fact of the matter is he affects them in ways he affects no other team. And by virtue of that notion, of that reality, as far as I'm concerned, we must now take a step back and look at potentially, likely Boston. And we must ask ourselves, does LeBron James have the same effect on them? I beg to differ. He will do damage against them because he'll do damage against everybody. But he does not demoralize them the way he demoralizes the Toronto Raptors. The Boston Celtics are capable of beating a Cleveland Cavaliers squad on a night that LeBron James drops 40 or 45 points. They just have that capability because they're rough riders. They're dogs. And I mean that in a good way. And because of it, they're going to come at Cleveland in ways that Toronto hasn't even thought about as far as I'm concerned. And that is where my trepidation kicks in terms of being so willing to just concede that the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to end up coming out of the East after all. I knew what LeBron James would do to the Toronto Raptors because history has shown us how he rattles them. And I don't say that as an understatement, and I don't say it lightly. It is rare in the day, rather, that I have seen an athlete have such a profound impact on a particular team. We've seen Jordan win series and demoralize folks along the way, but running into the same team time after time after time again and having their number, it's rare that you've seen that in NBA annals.